Yo, what is up? Welcome to episode 3 of Coffee with Corbin. Today I'm drinking a fireside rum blend inside another epic poop emoji mug that says, oh poop. Oh poop. Yeah, so this mug was given to me by like one of my really good friends, so it means a lot. Also, if you live in the College Station Bryan area, and haven't been to a coffee shop called Lupa's, I recommend it. Go get the Canadian latte. So I hope you like this chill and mellow introduction to my video. You know? Other than the coffee, let's get started. So this episode is going to be a little bit different. So chapter 2 is about how to discover and fulfill your purpose in life. In the chapter, JP actually mentions the acrostic SHAPE, SHAPE, used by Pastor Rick Warren, and how it can be helpful when searching for your purpose. So what I want to actually do in this episode is take that acrostic, take those letters, say what the letter stands for, and then I want to evaluate myself through it and kind of just discuss that out loud and see, you know, where do I see my purpose at right now as a Christian, as a follower of Christ? You know, how do I evaluate my actions? How do I evaluate myself to just help discover my purpose? Because, you know, we all want someone to sit there that can just tell us. You know, I wish there was someone I could call on the phone and say, hey, what's my purpose? You know, what's my purpose in life? Like, what am I meant to do? Why am I here? What is God asking of me? Well, the answer is we have to find out for ourselves. So the first letter in the acrostic is S, and that stands for spiritual gifts. So I've taken spiritual gifts tests multiple times just over the course of like my high school, just in youth and stuff like that. And I actually was asked to take one a week ago. So what I did is I went onto Google, I just typed in spiritual gift test, and there's one that pops up, like it's like the first one, and it was like free, so I took it. Spiritual gifts, everyone has them. You know, God has designed us and created us with specific spiritual gifts that help advance the kingdom. And some of these include things like, you know, teaching, serving, giving, leadership, wisdom, and there's a lot more that come with that. The one that's always stayed the same for me has been that of leadership. And I think that's very accurate for just my personality and from all the experience I've had over the years. As far back as I can remember, I was the person that wanted to make things happen. I'd be the one that just like helped things happen. I wanted to be the one that initiated it. I wanted to get the team behind me. I wanted to have the team with me. I wanted to motivate and push people to do things, whether that was good or bad. I took the name for it. I took the rep. You know, if it was good, I took it. If it was bad, I probably took it and gave it to someone else. But being a leader is something I was always about, and leading that's just a gift I guess I was blessed with. You know, not everyone's meant to be a leader. Not everyone's meant to be a follower, and I definitely was not meant to be a follower. So I encourage y'all after this video to go search up spiritual gifts test on Google or whatever you use, and so go search that, take that test, and you know, comment down below what your spiritual gifts are. I wonder how different, like how our gifts vary. What if we all have the same gift and that's our common theme, or what if we're all just very different, and that's awesome. So then in SHAPE, the next letter is H, which stands for your heart. You can't go take a test for this. You have to just evaluate yourself and how you feel. And it's kind of emotional based, I think, because it says right here, it says, knowing what you're passionate about and what you care deeply for makes finding your purpose and following it a lot easier. For me, I'm really passionate about music, and so I love to play music. I love to either lead it and play it, or even just, you know, be behind editing the sound, like whatever I can do. I love being a part of music. So when I'm asked to, I don't sit there and like, I don't get scared, I don't dread it. It's a lot easier for me because it's what I'm passionate about. I also care a lot about helping students build a relationship with Jesus and setting Him as their foundation before they go off on their own. Having that foundation, having that relationship really helped me, and I believe setting that inside the students before they go off on their own will make going off on their own a lot easier. And so when it comes to teaching students and sitting down with students and sitting down with high school kids and stuff like that, I care about it. I care about them and making sure that they have that foundation. So when it comes time for me to actually perform that or help them, I can do that because I know exactly how it was for me, and I know exactly how much I care about that. So I want to make sure I can do it to the best of my ability to let God speak to them, let God know that they are their that He's their foundation. So A is the next letter, and it stands for abilities. So knowing what you can and can't do shifts your focus closer to your purpose. here's a good point. I just thought about this. Okay, so your heart. Sometimes people are passionate and care deeply for one thing, but you just can't do it. But, you know, if I care and I'm passionate about music, but when it comes time for me to play and sing, I just am horrible, I shouldn't do it. You know, I can sit there and I can motivate others to do it, so that's my leadership personality or my leadership trait. But if I can't play music, I don't need to play music. See what I mean? And so for me, I can play guitar, so I play guitar. That led me to leading worship, and now I've learned to lead worship, so I can lead worship, and these are the abilities that God has given me to help advance His kingdom. Not everyone can do that. You know, for example, I'm probably not the best speaker. You know, there's other people out there that can speak 100 times better than me, and so when it comes to, like, you know, speaking like Billy Graham, evangelistic type stuff, I wasn't given that ability. You know, maybe one day, maybe God will grow me into that person, but right now that's just not where I'm at. Right now, I'm at a place where I can lead worship and I can play guitar, so that's what I do. I take that and that's what I focus on. That's my purpose, because it's what I have the ability to do. Small disclaimer. My roommate is currently vacuuming, so you'll hear him vacuuming. You'll hear his dog barking, and you'll also hear him saying, "No, Ollie, don't." That's his dog. So if you hear that, I'm going to try to cut it out. But alright, so after A, next up is for personality. So this is one that you can take a personality test for. Understanding your personality and just the type of person you are is going to also influence, you know, your abilities. You know, what are you able to do well at, what you're not. All these things are kind of squeezing together into a common thread, or squeezing together to a common path, and that path is your purpose. Okay, so I'm very extroverted. That's always one. I've always been extroverted. If you ever hang out with me, if you ever go watch my last vlog, you'll find out that, yeah, I'm a pretty extroverted person, but at the same time, I'm a very strategic, thoughtful person. I think through things very, like, down to the T. I put a reason. I always ask questions. Why is this, but why is that, and why, that whole 9 yards. But for my personality, I'm very extroverted, very detail oriented, very organized, very I don't know, like, for example, when I make these videos, I take a lot of notes. I even write out a outline script, and I don't follow it, but I write a script as if I was to say that stuff right there to get my thoughts all the way out, and then I write out bullet points for that, and then I kind of just, like, I have the bullet points right here, I have the main topics right here, and so I look at those and I know how to stay on track. And so I encourage you also, when you comment your spiritual gifts, also comment somewhat like your personality types. There's different types, you can see them online, different types of tests, different types of personality tests, so go and take it. There's something that gives you like a character, like you're this type of, you know, negotiator or stuff like that. And there's one that's like you're an ENFJ, or there's different types of personality tests, but I encourage y'all to go take them, kind of see if they're accurate too, because sometimes they kind of, there's sometimes where I take a test, I'm like, I don't really think that's me, but they might know me better than I know myself. Who knows, technology these days. Okay, and the last letter is E, which stands for experiences. So what someone has or has not gone through can really determine all the other letters, I think. An experience may be the reason you're passionate about some things, may lead to the development of some of your abilities, and cause you to be a little more extroverted or introverted, and all that leading to your spiritual gift. Also, when I was talking about, you know, what your heart and what you're passionate about, a lot of that derives from your experiences, what you've been through in life, and just what you've seen and what you've done and what you've learned. And for me, that's like why I care so much about setting that foundation. Is that I want to go back to that, because it's just like what I've experienced. I feel like I can help students in that kind of way, because I've been there and I've been in their shoes, and I know what they feel like, and that's why I'm passionate about that. So really, your experiences, I think, encompass everything into one. I feel like what you've been through in life helps develop and make you to who you are today. Like, and oftentimes I think we forget about that. I think we have like, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, but why? You know, here I'm going back to those why questions. At the moment, it's a bad situation. It's like, you know, I went through this, and this. That's never gonna do me any good. And then you get years on the road, I can do this. You don't even think about, but the reason I can do that is because of that bad time that happened. You know, there's a ton of things that I did, that I went through, that now have, like, I can do these things now because of that. And God takes that, you know, good or bad, and He makes it to be used for His kingdom. What you've been through, He's gonna use it. It's all part of all of His will and His plan. your experiences shape you. Those are your whys. That kind of gives you your why. Experiences, this whole shape idea, your spiritual gifts, your heart, your abilities, your personality, and your experiences all can help you find your purpose, or not even help you find it exactly, but help narrow it so you can put your focus on a closer view of your purpose. For me, my purpose has been really easy to find for the most part. I've kind of just been, it's crazy how my life's been turning out, just things kind of falling in my lap just by serving. I just start doing what I feel like is right, and God has really blessed me. For example, the church I go to, I've gotten the chance now to lead the high school youth group in worship, and that's been incredible. I've just been working there for a little bit, and it's really been a blessing, and just other things going on in my life, landing internships for youth with youth groups, and being able to speak and help at D-Nows and these youth events and stuff. And so really, when you start kind of understanding who you are and what God might have created you for, and you start pursuing that, God's gonna, if it's your purpose, God's gonna start showing you how it's gonna happen, and it's gonna start happening. But when you're pursuing something that's not what you're meant to be pursuing, then that's when you find yourself in a stage of stagnation. You're just stuck and you're still. So I definitely encourage y'all to go, evaluate yourselves. Write this out on a sheet of paper. Do the reflection question at the end of this chapter. Because understanding ourselves and that God created us with a purpose for His glory can lead us to find out what His will may look like for our lives. We're all meant to be. We all work together as a church. We're all different parts of the body, and we all have different functions, but towards the same goal. And some of us are called to vocational ministry. Some of us aren't. And don't think that your purpose has to be inside a church. That's not it. You need people everywhere for the whole entire kingdom. I think too often people are like, well, my purpose, I don't feel called to ministry, so I guess I'm not really involved in this whole church thing. It's like, no. You have a lot to do with it. There's a lot more people outside the church walls than there are that are in. And so just find your purpose and let's pursue that. Once we are aware of ourselves and add that awareness to the truth about God, we can start applying our daily decisions to our purpose. We can start living out our purpose effectively. Once you understand what you're striving for, once you understand where you excel at and where God might be leading you to, and you can start following that, your decisions are going to change. Your activities you might do are going to start changing. Where you put yourself might start changing. So I definitely encourage you to just go and evaluate your shape. Let's all comment our shape down below. Actually, let's just do that. I said comment your spiritual gifts and your personality, but actually, let's all just comment shape. And for each letter, I want you to put something. Put your spiritual gifts. Put something like you are passionate about. Put what your abilities are, what your personality is, and some experience that encompasses all that into one. I want to hear. And that way we can start answering the question. Why am I here? But I thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm actually posting it today. I recorded this a few days ago because I'm actually in Kansas City right now. I'll update y'all on that later. I might post a vlog about it, but I'm actually in Kansas City right now, and you'll see why. But I'm enjoying some good coffee. I'm having time with my mom and dad. It's really awesome. So I thank y'all for watching so much. Focus on your shape. I thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications, hit that and comment down below. I really appreciate all y'all's support. I just ask y'all please continue to lift this channel up in prayer. Pray for me as I go through this and as I make safe travels back from Kansas City. I thank y'all all so much, and I love y'all so much for all the support and just for sticking around and watching these Coffee with Corbins. Peace out.